Good morning, it's Laura here, and I'm live again from Your Last Resort Home Organization and Staging, and bringing to you today another great video with lots of wonderful home organization tips. So I'm really excited today to have with me Cathy. Cathy Reid's here with me, and do you want to tell us who you are and where are we today?
No problem.
Live on location.
I'm Cathy Reid, and I'm happy to be with Laura today, and I am from Absolutely Fabulous Bed Bath & Home in New Minas. Also Absolutely Fabulous at Home. It just kind of depends where you were in our history. We are going to look at kitchen organizing today.
Yeah,
we've got lots of ideas.
There's so many things, and just even implementing some of the times like the smallest thing makes a huge difference in your organizing.
It really does. Laura, you asked me what kind of an organizer I am. I am a combo organizer.
Okay, so what do you mean by that?
Well, I think it's important to collect things. I like to group everything that I'm going to use. So if it's in my kitchen or my bathroom or my paint room, I like to have it all together, but then I like to hide it.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it all together, and I'm going to show you some examples of that.
Okay.
Because I don't think everything in my life needs to be on display.
Yep.
Number one, it'll get covered in cat hair.
Right.
So that's one good reason to hide things.
Yeah, keeps it clean.
Keeps it clean. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Because there are a lot of different types of organizing styles, and some people like to have I know people have taken off the cupboard doors and just have everything open. I know.
Yeah, and lovely.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's not me. It's not
You
me.
have to really curate what you've got.
Yeah, you do, and make sure it's not just like jumbled all together.
Exactly.
So, but the things I think you're going to show us would work for whether you like
it doesn't matter which way
not.
you're doing it. That's right.
So as we're going along today, if you have any questions about like tips for how to organize your drawers, or when we do the second part when we're over in the bathroom, if you have any questions, just type them up and they will come up on the screen here, and Cathy and I can answer them as you go along. Or if you have a certain question about something, a product that she's showing, just ask some questions about that, and we'll kind of, we're live,
interact.
So anything can happen.
Exactly.
Okay, so Cathy, I'm going to flip the camera around.
Okay.
And there we go. So this is kind of what the demo area back here in the back of the store.
We did cooking classes for a long time. So our cupboards are real kitchen cupboards. When you open them up, prior to owning all this organizational stuff, they could be quite jumbled. You can see we've made attempts to organize.
Yeah.
So for purposes of this, disregard those labels because I put some things in. But one of the things that I've used at home a lot are these little shelves that slide in and out on my cupboard. Now this one is in there nice and tight, which I really liked. So this shelf will come out. I'm not going to take it out because it has all those dishes on it.
But it just slides right on top to the shelf.
And it's designed to slide onto the inside shelf, which is slightly narrower than maybe anything you're framing.
Oh, right.
So it slides on. It has a little variation. It would go up to about an inch thick in the shelf. The arms go all the way back. But the beauty of it
so it's sturdy. So it's it'll support some weight.
Yes. Mine is full of all my little bowls at home.
Okay.
Because they always fall over. So this way I'm just stacking two little bowls, like this size.
Oh, what do you call those? Ramekins. See, there we go.
But look how well they'd fit in there. And I can stick them all in there. I can't pile them any higher than two because they fall over. But I can put them all in there. The nice thing is it's kind of like a basket. So it has sides and a back. So
it's not going to fall off the side, the edge of it.
Fall off the sides, and it's not going to fall through the back. And I can visually see everything.
Yeah.
So that's my visual.
Because if you're just keeping this stuff right here, you are not utilizing this whole space
above. Most of us never do.
No.
I mean, look at the top shelf.
Yeah, how much space is up there?
Well, it's always a challenge because, this is my reach. But that's always wasted space.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this isn't going to fit up there, but that's where in my house, that's where all my tall water bottles and vases, things that I can grab from the base and pull out are up there.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And one of the other things too, we learned in an earlier video I did too with Anne, who's the physiotherapist, not to put anything way heavy up there, especially if you're a little bit more vertically challenged, maybe that is too heavy.
It's going to come down on me. It's going to unbalance.
And you don't want to be climbing up there to be grabbing that stuff up there.
I have here.
Yeah, and I love the fact too, we were talking about that a mug will fit there too.
A mug will fit there.
Yeah.
You can fit, now this is your average mug.
Yeah.
Taller mugs might not fit there, but they might go underneath. But there's enough room here for my mugs.
Yeah.
And that's one form of mug storage. We're going to look at a couple of others.
Yeah.
So, but then look over here. We get people asking for these all the time. How do I store my wine glasses?
Right.
I've washed them. I don't want to store them this way, always in my cupboard, because maybe I air dry them and there'll be a little bit of water left in there, so you get that little residue. But now I can put them in here. I can fit a number of glasses in here, depending on the height of my glasses and the depth of my shelf. I could maybe adjust my shelf if I had taller glasses. But I have 4 rows. I can get a lot of glasses in here.
That's amazing. And it's the same concept as the other shelf too.
Right.
It goes right on the shelf.
Yeah. So that's another great. It just slides right in. It's designed so that if it's top heavy, it's going to hit. But they're sturdy enough to take the weight. Wine glasses aren't heavy.
Yeah.
But they're sturdy enough to take the weight. So that's the other thing I have now in my cupboard at home. This shelf is up a little higher, and I have this little puppy.
Oh.
Love this little rack. Most of us have, a couple of cupboards to keep our dishes in, and we're always using our dinner plates and maybe the next size up. But mine used to be stored like this.
Yeah, and I just shove mine in.
You do the
shelf and
after you're done with the dishwasher. You've got these in your hands and you hold it up and you're trying to get them underneath.
Yeah, and you're chipping them and wear and tear.
The one you need next is here.
Yep.
So I'm doing the same thing. But I like this because this is a very sturdy shelf. Now I have in the same space a lot more accessible.
Yeah.
So it's not just about sometimes making it more room, it's about accessibility.
I was going to say, because I know some of my dinner plates too, especially the bigger ones, are quite heavy.
Yes. Or
So-
stoneware is heavy.
Yeah.
Or porcelain.
Yeah.
These are stoneware. They're heavy.
Yeah.
They're sturdy. They're restaurant quality, so they're sturdy. So that's kind of your kitchen cupboard organization. But let's look at drawers.
Yes. Drawers are easy to become a big fat mess.
They are. You're going to love this story. Ready?
Yes, let's go. Wow.
Okay.
This is great.
Now, anybody who follows us or shops at the store knows that Joseph is one of my favorite brands. They are 2 brothers out of the UK. And if you're familiar at all with England, which you are, everything is compact in Europe.
Yeah, you don't have very much space.
No, kitchens
really
are
don't.
small. With a few exceptions, most living is done on a smaller scale. So that means you've got to be a little bit more resourceful about how you use things.
I think that's a trend coming here too, that I know a lot of people are looking for the smaller houses.
Yes, or moving into a condo.
Yeah, and they need
downsizing from the family home to a 2-room bungalow even.
So you just don't have as much space, but...
Well, you don't have as much space, but maybe you don't have the same needs either. You have different needs, so you don't need all the things you had, and you're winnowing it out. And maybe the great big cutlery basket doesn't work anymore because you don't have cutlery for 25 people anymore.
It's not your lifestyle anymore.
Not your lifestyle.
So show us, Joseph.
So this one is a really amazing little space saver.
I have never seen a cutlery drawer go that way.
I can put... Now, they're showing a fork here. I could turn this around and put them in that way if I wanted. I tend not to want to grab them by the forks.
Where you're going to be eating.
Where I'm going to be eating. That old restaurant training. But at the same time, I might want to organize them so that I know that all my big forks and my knives are here. The things I use the most. Again, if I'm really using this in my drawer, I might want to push this down a little bit so I have room for handles. But that would work too, because now look at all the space I could have. I could put
for
all
lower
of my
flat things.
Those awkward things that don't actually have a place here. I can put my little forks in here. Maybe I'll put them above my big forks. So I've got big forks, little spoons. I can do big spoons. In my house, we have more teaspoons than anything, so that would be where all the general spoons go. But I can fit easily a setting for 8 in here.
So we were talking about this cutlery tray over here.
That's the scary.
That's your bigger one
version. And I mean, I can fit lots in here, but I can grab all of these, sort them out. And if I was doing this many forks, maybe I'd go into here.
Right, that big cutlery tray can fit into this small space here.
Exactly.
How easy is that?
It's amazing. I put my other fork in here. Now I'd maybe put my big spoons down here. A lot of it's going to depend on the style of your cutlery too.
Yep.
If you have large handles or small handles. Put my teaspoons up here, my little spoons. But you just, there's no right or wrong to this.
Yep.
You'd organize it to suit
what you're going to be using and what you have.
Yes,
yeah.
and
love
what
it.
you own. But my other favorite one has to be the knife one. If you like an uncluttered counter, and that becomes even more important when you're moving to a small space, because the clutter is what you do. You unclutter. You visually take the mess out of people's lives, and clutter in your head, or clutter in your counter, becomes clutter in your head.
Absolutely.
This is wonderful. This is a 2-tier drawer organizer for knives. The larger slots here mean you get your longer knives, and of course it would take a thicker blade. Slide right in, and they rest on the silicone pad. So the knives are quietly stored, which sounds funny, but you don't want them
clinking around. Yep.
And it's not going to move in here. It can't move because it's held in here. But I could put, it will depend on what the width and style of my knife is, again, the handle. But I can get 6 knives in here easily. And then on
that's just the bottom shelf.
And that's just the bottom.
Yeah.
So then I have enough room for all up here. I could put a set of steak knives. I could put all my paring knives.
Yeah.
And they're, again, easily accessible, but safe. And the blades...
Especially if you have kids, too, right? Around.
Yeah. And one of the things, if you have good knives, you worry about your blades. You don't want your blade resting all the time on something, like sliding into something wooden. That's important because it dulls the blade as it's going. So this is hanging. The blade is hanging in the air. It's not resting. It's the handle that's resting.
Okay.
So it's got enough of a width on the slot to keep the knife balanced.
Isn't that interesting?
It's so great. But
I know. I have mine I have my knives in a wooden block on the counter, and it's next to the sink. And I'm noticing that it's starting to pool underneath, and the wooden block's getting disgusting. Yes. So I'm thinking this is a much better.
I like the block because of the convenience of having it. But again, that depends on your setup. If I had to move something off my counter, it would probably be the block because I can get all the knives I own right into this.
Yeah. And I actually have 2 knife blocks. So I'm thinking this, I'm like, right now, I'm like, oh yes.
I'm coming to your house and decluttering your knives.
I think you need to. I got a lot of bad knives I need to go through.
And another thing is the spice storage. We're used to having our spices either in a little carousel or on shelves in our cupboard. This is an in-drawer option that Joseph has come out with. And as I was saying to you earlier, they've got a number of new things coming out for this fall, so that are shipping in the next couple of weeks, that are meant to go into the cupboards, and they have different heights. So now and they're done in a U shape, but you can configure them to suit your purposes.
For spices.
So now I'm going to have, say, 3 tiers of spices. Yeah. And the bottom tier has a drawer for those flat packages of spices.
Oh my gosh, the ones that roll around loosely in the...
Yes. So it'll look more like this when you're looking at it.
Yes.
But they're designed so that I can see all of the labels. There's enough height between them. That this one's not standing in front of it, so I'm still having to move this. I'll be seeing this.
And that's coming shortly, you say?
Coming shortly, yeah. And they have a couple. I bought them, ordered them, just waiting to see them.
Yeah, so. Fun.
So that's
great.
But look how much I can get in one drawer.
Yeah. Look at that. The whole cutlery set.
Yes.
Which I know, for most people, that's an entire drawer.
That is. Yeah,
an entire drawer.
When we were working with the big one.
Yeah.
And then if I move them forward, I have room for some of those other things.
Yeah, any cooking utensils, because that's not gonna influence.
Right. It's the long things.
Yeah, the long. Love it.
So let's say you don't want to do this. You want to come up with something kind of in the middle.
Yep.
But you want a little bit of counter accessibility, but you're not, and your favorite knives out.
Yep.
Another Joseph product. This is a knife stand.
Oh.
So in the middle, I have a very versatile knife block. It actually will pop out too. It snaps down, but it will pop out so I can clean it. But I can put any knives I want in here. It'll take up to a certain width. My only limitation would be how long they are.
Yep.
If I have anything much longer than this, you can see it's not going to fit. But this is...
That's pretty standard for a long knife.
Yes. Then I have a small canister kind of thing over here to hold maybe the utensils I use the most. And then down here, maybe I've got other things that are like vegetable peelers.
Yeah.
So I could have everything. Plus, it comes with a cutting board.
Oh, and that's just in a slot at the back.
That's in a slot at the back. So the whole thing, this is one set.
Yep.
Obviously without everything in it, but what a great way to organize a very small space for a functional for a cook.
Yep. Everything you need is right there.
Your extras are in the drawer, but
Yep.
the things your go-to are right here. I think it's perfect for students too, because maybe they don't want or have the need to invest in a knife block.
Yep.
They own 2 knives.
Yep.
Possibly 3 if they could get the bread knife away from their mother. But it's a great option for
I love it.
organizational. And before we go to mugs, let's have a look. They also do Joseph. This is the other one they do.
Okay.
So this is their big guy. This is kind of a combination of what they show here, but it expands so that you've got room for all those clunkier things. One drawer container will do it all. I don't know about you, but there's always little things like twist ties or little things to put on bags to close them. And they have a little cup that can go anywhere.
Those just rattle around in a drawer. And you're always...
They make it look messy.
Yeah, they do. And I'm always saying to the kids, stop pawing around in the drawers. So, yeah, if you had a little...
The other thing I like is the rounded edges in here. Things they're very easy to clean, for one thing. But you tend to be able to grab things better. They don't go into a corner. Which sounds silly, but... I don't know. There's a little function thing there.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Yep. Yeah, this is neat too. This is a constant challenge. Okay.
So I have it on the bottom cupboard door where my pots are, but I've just mounted it. So I screwed it on up here. Hardware comes with it. Oh. So I screwed it on up here. It has a little clip. Now I decided that because apparently we open our doors a little aggressively, it was banging.
Yep.
So I put another screw here.
To secure it a bit.
Yeah, just to give it a little bit more firmness. But I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lids in here and possibly something small at the top if I need it.
And then you've got that right on your same drawer or the same cupboard as all your pots and pans.
All my pots and pans.
Isn't that awesome?
The only thing actually what I did with this one, because I have one of those cupboard doors that is on a hinge, I put it right on the inside of the cupboard. Because one limitation with cupboard doors sometimes is the shelf inside. And if you had lids here, you might not have the depth for that.
Oh, to be able to close it. I
understand. It right inside the cupboard.
Like on the wall bit.
I put it right in here.
Yeah, like on the wall bit.
For this one.
Okay.
I could have done it because I had just enough room. But what I was afraid of was that when I put a bigger lid in, the knob came out a little bit further. Yep. So I just said, no, I don't want to bang that every time. And I wanted the option of putting in the lids I wanted. So... because those little lids are always all over the place.
Fantastic. Okay, and we got some cleaning stuff over here too.
I just wanted to show you, I use baskets a lot. I like to collect things. So I like to have everything I'm going to do for cleaning in one spot. This is one way of doing it, is just either get an old basket or a tote or something and put it all together and slide that under your sink. You're not looking all over the place for... your barkeep's friend or your countertop cleaner. It's right there.
All together.
Yes, and also probably in mine, I would have a paper towel in there or an old tea towel because it'll catch any drips or moisture. Oh. And it's just one more thing. The bottom of my cupboard's not going to be okay. Because it seems like no matter how careful you are, these things always drip or ooze.
Okay, so you mean that kind of rag is at the bottom of the basket?
At the bottom of the basket.
Oh, clever.
Yeah. So when you get to like the old dishcloth.
Yep.
It's no good anymore. You don't want to use it, but it's a great liner.
Yep.
And then little good grips jobby for beside your sink. So if this was your dish detergent, it could go right here. You've got a place to put your brushes, and they even have a little slot here if you use a sponge or a scrubby and you want to just put it all together. It has a snap-off base.
So the gunky water.
Right. You can see it. You'll know when it's gunky. You're not going to have to wait until it smells. And it just snaps off and you rinse that out and away you go.
That is, it keeps it nice and clean.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it'll, this is probably the tallest bottle brush we own. And it fits perfectly.
Yeah, and it's not, I was going to say, it's not tipping over.
Yeah. That's a kind of your measure, right? It's not tipping over. And normally it would have this, but you couldn't count on it always
Yeah, or
having
if you
that.
pick it up to use it, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to tip over. I love it. Okay.
So then, coffee
Talking
mugs.
about mugs. I mean, that's one thing, everybody has a lot of mugs.
Mugs. We tend to collect them,
Yeah.
or
I mean,
we're
there's
given them, or
special
we
gifts
like,
from people.
You make the mistake of saying, "Oh, I really like cows," and everybody buys you a cow mug for the rest of your life. But this little guy is a mug tree, an old-fashioned idea that is always in use.
Yep.
It'll hold 6 mugs in the footprint of about 2.
Oh.
So that's a nice...
Would you keep it on the counter?
I
or?
would keep this on the counter.
Well, it's kind of a beautiful display.
Well, it is, and it's right next to your coffee maker.
Yep.
Or your kettle if you're a tea drinker.
Yeah.
And it's pretty. They've done a nice wooden base. It's very simple black. It goes with everything. So it's, inobtrusive. Plus, it's a nice way to display your favorite mugs.
Yeah. Pretty.
But if you want to hide them, and again, that's your collection.
Yeah.
This little job, we have it in 2 ways. This guy holds 10 mugs, slides onto the shelf.
Like the other products that we saw.
Yeah. That's right. Is a pretty one. So if you had your open shelving, the copper look is a really nice look.
Yeah.
And your mugs just hang. It has an extra little clip. Mugs are heavy.
Right.
So you can see the length of this would slide just over halfway to support the weight. Then it has a little clip that goes on here, and you just screw that up into the shelf with 2 little screws. Again, they've
All
measured.
included,
They know that those little shelves only have so much depth, and you don't want to screw through. But it stops this from coming down when you have the weight of the mugs on it.
Okay.
Because as soon as I start to put some mugs on it, I'm going to add some weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And already I can just feel that even in my hand.
Yeah, so that's just a little bit of extra security there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a great way, again, to use that top part of your shelves.
Well, I have one of these at home. Actually, there's one that has a different configuration because that worked better. I'm not as organized as having all my mugs the same size. Some of them are taller, some of them are wider.
When you're given them, right?
Or you just like them.
Yes.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
So the other one, we can look at it on the way over, but to the back section has a different configuration. It kind of spreads out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it gives me the flexibility of hanging, say, latte mugs or cappuccino that are a little wider or longer. And I really like it because the shelf, again, is organized enough that all those odd mugs hang.
Yep.
And all my regular mugs
the standard
have
size
room
ones.
underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the space we have 18 mugs, I think, which sounds crazy until you realize that there are at least 20 people when they come for dinner from my family. And those are just the ones we're related to. So that's a lot of mugs, and we do go through them.
Yeah. Because the other thing is, because your tendency would be to stack them.
Yes, and that's when they chip.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as they chip, then the bacteria gets in them.
Right.
And then you can't use them.
Exactly.
Or shouldn't use them.
You shouldn't use them. However, if it's your favorite mug, take a little clear nail polish, scrub out that chip, let it dry, and coat it in clear nail polish.
And you save yourself.
And you save yourself your favorite mug.
There you go. You heard it here. Yeah. I love it.
You also talked about repurposing.
Yeah.
And I know that you and the other women you're working with go through people's houses and you pull things out and you say, okay, do you need this?
Yep.
What if the answer is no, my gosh, I haven't baked bread in 15 years.
Yep.
But I love to cook and I own 28 bottles of spices. What about repurposing? If you want, you could just put all of your spices. Again, you could do there are differences between baking spices and cooking.
Yep. Savory and sweet spices.
Savory and sweet. Some of them cross over, like cinnamon and nutmeg can cross over.
Yep.
But what if you kind of organize them that way?
Yeah. So this whole tray.
And then put a label on it.
Yeah. And you can even get labels for the top too to say, so you can just look like this,
yes,
right? You can just look down and see your spice.
But you could label this savory.
Yeah.
And if this is ugly, say it's rusted, paint it.
Oh.
Just paint it. Make it pretty. Make it pretty and functional.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have to. You don't have to have that rusty bottom.
Right, and you're saving yourself some money, saving the environment. Love it.
But you're also repurposing something that maybe had a story. Maybe that was your great grandmother's pan.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to part with
You're
it.
struggling to part with it because that's the thing you remember about her.
Yeah.
Is the fact that she made bread every Saturday and you used to go over and punch it down and you fought over which kid got to push it down. Because those are the memories we have that are connected to
and that's why it's hard to get rid of things.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a great way to repurpose. And I'm sure there are other things. Baskets. They're always, jars are one of my favorite things to repurpose. I'm always using jars to put things in. So
it just going back to the rust thing, if something is rusty, like you have a bread pan that's rusty, you shouldn't probably bake with it then, right?
Shouldn't probably bake with it anymore. And if you're worried about the rust coming through your paint, I painted a plant stand this summer that was all rusty. I put a coat of lacquer on it first to seal the rust in.
Oh, okay.
It's been outside all summer, and there is no rust coming through. And I know that because I put it away before the hurricane.
So you've been examined it.
Time to look at it, and So then I painted over it, and I created I sealed the rust in. So you could do the
pretty amazing. Cathy does amazing repurposing painting. We're going to talk about that on another day because that's a whole show. Yeah, so because it's amazing. Okay, so bear with me as I walk and I'm trying to be steady with this. So yeah, again, so we're at Absolutely Fabulous, and it is across from the movie theater here in Minas, and so many wonderful treasures. Oh, here's the mug shelf in action.
And there's a picture of it. So also holds 10 mugs, but holds the awkward, like
the awkward size ones.
These ones have flares on them, so they take up so much more room.
Oh, yeah,
than a regular mug, just because they have the flared top.
Yep. Yeah, so you can see that in action there.
Yeah.
And it's got, and there's even some hooks there at the back that aren't even, it's not even full.
Put some on to show it.
Yeah.
So, that's one in action.
Very cool. The other thing we didn't talk about, too, is Cathy does have the bamboo cutlery drawers, too, if that's something that's important to you as well, to use the sustainable product for your knives and everything like that. That is here, too. So, okay, now we're going to talk about the bathroom.
So I set up one of our cubbies with one of our shower cubbies with some of the things that I use at home, but also some of the things from Joseph. I think these two... It could be my brothers. Sorry, brother David. Yeah. But I just love their thought process. They're always looking for, how do I get the most space without making it crowded, but still having it functional
and pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why can't things be pretty?
Yeah.
They have a toothbrush caddy. This is the smallest piece. Has a little. Pull this so this can come out.
Oh,
so that I can either use. Maybe I have great big toothbrushes like electric ones.
Yes.
And I don't need the divider, but maybe I just want to clean back down there. So it'll slide down. It has a little groove. Line it up, slide it down, and also this will come off so that I can clean. Whoops.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I can clean underneath it, because that is one thing. Unless you dry your toothbrush every single time. All of us tend to put them away a little bit wet.
Yeah, and they get disgusting. You can come to my bathroom.
And the bottom of it. Well, I know that because I washed mine up this morning. It's like, oh. So that will just snap on the bottom. But they've done the same thing with two others. They've got a large toothbrush caddy. Same thing, large version.
So almost like every family member could have their own little slot too.
They absolutely could, because you could have... Your large ones would fit in here if you needed them to.
Or your toothpaste.
And you have 4 more. So 6 people could easily have this as their caddy.
Great for a family.
Yes. And maybe you want one for makeup or accessories like that, or your hairbrush. Or you want one that holds everything. You could put toothbrushes here, toothpaste. You could put your, maybe some of your personal like hair things in here.
Oh, into a smaller little thing.
Into a smaller container here. So my barrette or my
the elastics and clips. And,
I can put my brush in here. I'm showing a foot
scrubber thingy
file in here. But again, to show you, this is a large handle. It could go in a number of places. So that's
and again, it's not tipping too, right? With the tall item.
And these are silicone.
Yeah.
So this is flexible. This will come off to clean, but it also won't slide all around your counter. Nice. Yeah. Comes with a blue bottom.
We go into a lot of places that have stuff all over the counter.
Yes.
Right, and it's really easy just to let that stuff go everywhere, right? Yeah. So it's so easy to get it contained.
And they've done the same thing with the easy to clean with the rounded corners. That's important, because corners corners are really hard to clean. Yeah. None of us are going to take the time, usually, to get out the little piece of metal, to get out whatever gunk formed in the corners. So by eliminating corners, you just saved yourself a whole lot.
Yeah, see, they've thought of every detail.
Yeah. I'm also a big fan of storing in plain sight, but collecting. So baskets are an excellent way to collect things. Roll your towels up if you have a small bathroom and you want to have towels for when the company comes or yourself, and you just need to have a basket to put them in. Yeah. You can tuck that next to a sink. You can tuck that right in front of the tub. Don't obstruct your pathway, but you can choose your basket appropriately. I did another one up here. This could be in a guest room.
Oh, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty.
So now I have guests coming, and I want them to feel welcome. Yeah. They've got everything they need. I can put more in here. I can change the size of my basket. But I've got a couple of shampoo and conditioner, got a couple of face cloths, some hand towels. I could stick a soap in here.
So pretty. How welcoming, too.
How
pretty.
Welcoming. Yeah. But also, they can just carry this whole thing to the bathroom. Yeah. It's really simple. Yeah. Or it could be sitting on a counter. Yeah. And again, it collected everything. It's very welcoming.
Yeah, it's visual, but it's pretty and it's organized. Yeah, whenever I was saying we did a house last night too, and one of the first things we do is we take a basket and we roll the towels and we put it and made a visual display right in front of the bathtub last night. And you can get so many when you roll them.
Absolutely.
So it really is compact. You think it wouldn't be, but
plus when you pull them out, one towel at a time comes out.
That's
you haven't
right.
jammed them right in there. Yeah. I find when they're on a shelf, I tend to always use the top one. Yep. What I'm supposed to do when I do the laundry is take them out, pull
and rotate them. I try to do that too, but good intentions.
It's much easier to do that if I have them in a basket.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. The other thing we were talking about doing last night too, and this basket is perfect for that, is taking a few and putting them just along, like fold it, put it on the bottom, and then putting our rolled ones on the top to lift it up, and as a way to store some of the extra ones too. So
it would also add a little weight to the basket, so it would tend not to tip over. Yeah. But let's go back to your open shelving.
Yeah.
Look at this idea.
Oh yeah.
Again, a pretty copper shelf. Now this could be used in the kitchen.
Because that's like the same one we saw we had before. Yes. Oh, it is the same.
It's the same, but in copper. Yep. The other was in a stainless steel, like a brushed steel. Yep. And that one came in 2 sizes. I can't fit it into my kitchen cupboards, but it would fit beautifully in my hall cupboard. Okay. And when I look, I've got one in my hall cupboard now that all my mittens are in.
On one of these shelves.
On one of these shelves.
Oh my goodness.
Because mittens, drives me nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what a great idea.
And I have a dog who likes to steal mittens.
So you need to keep them away.
But look how many things I could store in here. Yeah. And this is pretty. Yes. If I had a nice open shelf somewhere and I didn't have quite enough room to stack on top, maybe I can hang the shelf and hang a little bit.
But that could fit in my linen closet, like behind the closed door, as well as being open like that.
Maybe I have something special, like maybe I have satin pillowcases. Yep. Or baby things. Yeah. When my granddaughter comes to visit, she has her own little, place.
Baby cloths. I used to have like the small little face cloth things that were just the baby. Yes, they do, and they're tiny and they're hard to keep folded, and that's perfect.
So just lay it. Don't fold them the way we fold these ones. Yep. Just fold them in half and lay them out. Right. It's just so many things like that. But talking about smart things, garbage. Right. We always have to sort our garbage, and we're trying to be more responsible. And for me, that's a big thing. I think maybe when I became a grandmother, it became more important to look at the longer world view. So sustainability, less waste, and less waste means either better sorting or not incurring it in the first place. Joseph, again, being European-based, where space is a premium, and also a lot of countries in Europe are very conscious of waste and sustainability. They've come up with this 2-holer garbage can. You got a small one for garbage. This is the stuff you're going to throw out. This one is for your paper, your toilet paper rolls, other paper that, the wrapping off of soap, things that are in the bathroom that are paper that aren't garbage. Now you could switch them around if you generate more garbage than...
I would probably tend to use one as a compost.
Almost
as well, like if you're so that you can empty it
Your
into the
nose tissue.
yeah,
Yeah.
it can go in there, and then you can empty it into the green cart as well.
Right.
So you have that option.
But because it actually is 2 compartments.
Yeah, it's
I'm
separate
not-
inside.
It's separate inside.
Yeah.
I don't even need a plastic bag to sort this out.
Yeah.
It's right in here.
It's already done.
This is washable. My favorite part of it, my dog can't get her nose in here.
I love this.
Actually, she can get her nose in there. She can't open her mouth. So
I've gone to a lot of places, and I'm gonna call my sister out here too, where the garbage can is, up high on top of the toilet, or
because of the dog.
because of the dog.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, or sometimes because of the babies too,
Yes,
right?
That's different. That's a stage.
yeah.
The dog
But the
is a
dog,
breed.
right?
Yes.
So
it's
that would
something they do.
avoid that.
So it's simple, and there's no covers. You don't have to flip anything open.
Yep.
We're collecting our garbage anyway.
Yep.
But, so in bathroom storage, I'm a lot about baskets, and it can be little baskets. These are all made from recycled paper. They're adorable, but this is perfect for rolling up my face cloths in.
Yeah.
Or maybe I clean my face every night with cotton pads, and I just want to have a little basket of them so that they're right there. Or all my hair gear, or any of those things that are what I might.
Hi. There we go. Sneak through.
But again, color coordinate to your bathroom.
Oh yeah, the pretty colors.
Pretty colors.
Yeah, and that's recycled paper.
It's recycled paper.
Wow, it doesn't even look like it.
Now it's twisted,
Yeah,
so
it's
it
really
won't
strong.
take wet things,
Yep.
but it will take just organizing.
Yep.
If you came to my bathroom and you looked in my cupboard, you would laugh because they're organized as his and hers.
Yep.
Because he has very specific products, and I
Yep.
have very.
And you want to keep them separate. I get it.
So they're his, hers, and ours.
Okay.
And it's baskets. I can pull my basket out, and everything I use on a daily basis is in my basket. He can pull his out, and in the middle are the toothbrushes and the things that maybe we share, Q-tips and all that, but they're in a basket.
Yeah.
It is so easy to pull that out and organize it on like hurricane day.
When there's nothing else to do.
Actually, I read.
That's way better.
And then larger baskets.
Yeah, these are
Made
nice
from
too.
grass.
Grass.
Made from grass.
Wow.
Sewn together. If you get a close up, you can see how they've zigzagged it. It's twisted grass sewn together. And you would think it's strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I can rip it if I really want to because
Yep.
it's stitched. But another great way to just collect something. This would be great for knitting.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I don't know, knitting, books.
Could be anything.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the pink makes
Because
it
it's
a
very
little pretty.
sturdy.
These
I love this
guys-
one.
They're so popular right now, and for good reason. This is a perfect knitting basket because my balls of yarn are going to go through here. I
Yep.
can actually thread my yarn through
Right
here
through. Yep.
so that it's not pulling out as I'm knitting. Now I know in my house the cat likes this. He has a theory or a policy: if he fits, he sits, and he makes himself fit. He's 18 pounds and he makes himself fit. So he's a long, lanky kitty. But if this shape didn't work for you, push it down.
Yeah, see, this is very neat.
Multifunction it.
Yeah.
Use it a different way. Now I have an attractive basket. Maybe I have it on a shelf and I have a collection of plants in it.
Yep.
If I were going to do that, I'd probably line it with plastic.
Yep.
Something waterproof so that it didn't ruin the basket for another occasion. But if it was up on a shelf, you'd never see it, never see the plastic. And I could have beautiful plants in it.
Yeah.
I could do it the other way. I can have it open and do it. But just, I like things that have more than one
Multifunction.
function. This
Yep.
doesn't have to just be in a bedroom or a living room. This could be in my kitchen. I could put all my tea towels in it if I use a lot of tea towels. I don't know. I could store my bread in it if I wanted to. My bags of bread, whatever you want to do. We didn't even go through pantry storage.
Oh gosh, I know. I mean, there's so many. I think you just need to come in and talk to Cathy and tell her what your issue is and what you're trying to organize, and she's got an idea for you
Well, I
on
always
how to
think
do
retail
it.
is actually about solving problems.
Yeah.
That's what we are supposed to do. We're supposed to bring in products that add value to your life, add organization, or solve something like how do I store my towels, or where do I put my toothbrush, and we're not going to have all the answers, but we're kind of a little bit ingenious too, and we look at things from other points of view.
Yep.
your bread pan can be your spice pan.
Yeah, like you don't. I mean, just to think outside of the box like that. Yeah, right. And that's why you've been in business for so long, is because this is what you're good at. So this is. I'm gonna flip the camera back around here. And this. Ooh, sorry. Ooh. Oops, sorry. And there we go. Okay. So anyway, I just want to say thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I have learned so much today, and it's so much fun to think, because say we do a lot of kitchen organizations, and it's one of my favorite things to do, and to get in there and to think of some ways to do it, and some great. I personally love the shelves that you can use the top half of the shelf.
Yes,
those are something.
I think I have 2, possibly 3 of those.
Do you?
Oh, it just changed the cupboard.
I think this is what I need to explore, and I need to explore the knife rack in the drawer too. So I'm gonna go home and measure my drawers in my old house. So awesome! And just I want to say a huge thank you again for taking your time and showing us these awesome things. So come into Absolutely Fabulous here at across the movie theater, New Minas, right on Commercial Street, and come in.
Open every day, Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Saturday.
After Thanksgiving on Sundays.
Perfect. See, there you go. Yeah. Make up your Christmas wish list.
Yes.
And
for your kitchen.
Yeah, for your kitchen and for everything. So, and come in and ask Cathy or Betty Jean or
Joy and Donna. And
everybody else
Angie.
who's here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And come and get yourself organized. So thank you so much, Cathy.
Thanks.
And thank you for tuning in and watching. And we'll be back again, and I'll let you know what our next topic's going to be. Bye.